All right, what's going on, everybody? If you haven't seen already, which I doubt, they're planning on having a UFC event on the White House lawns next year on July 4th, which would be an insane idea. And this also has a bunch of fighters think they're coming back to the UFC just for this, which I'll also talk about. So I'm going to be talking about what I think about this whole idea, my thoughts on the fighters wanting to come back for this card, and what fights could possibly be on it. But real quick, before I get into the video, 96% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if like UFC, influencer boxing, or pro boxing content, I post 3 to 4 times a week on this channel at least, so make sure you guys subscribe. I appreciate you. Now let's see what Trump had to say about this card himself.
We're going to have a UFC fight. We're going to have a UFC fight. Think of this on the grounds of the White House. We have a lot of land there. We're going to build a little... We're not...
The guy in the back is not happy. Do you see that? Over his right shoulder.
Championship fight. Full fight. Like 20, 25,000 people. And we're going to do that as part of 250 also. We're going to have some incredible events, some professional events, some amateur events. But the UFC fight's going to be a big deal too. And
now, the guy over Trump's shoulder isn't the only person that's been upset about this idea announcement thing. It seems like a lot of people on Twitter or over the internet, and it's not the majority of the people, because some people like me think it could be a cool idea. But it seems like people think this is a joke and it's like a mockery of the United States. Where did people's fun go? Like, genuinely, when did people, like, this is what people think. People are gonna think it's gonna become political. People are just gonna fucking punch each other, dude. Like, oh my goodness, it's just gonna be an event, and it's gonna be an amazing scene having a whole event with all those people right in front of the White House. Is it gonna be a security risk? Probably not, because the Secret Service is probably gonna be there and everybody else. It could be a targeted place, but it wouldn't be a very ideal one, because I guarantee it will be the most secure event in U.S. history. So, I don't understand where people's fun has gone, man. Sure, it's a crazy idea, but why not? Like, why is it such a big deal to people? Why do people always have to take things to a political turn? I don't understand it. It's just going to be a fun event with a spectacle. It's in front of the White House. It's never been done before. It's like the same thing with what they're trying to do with Alcatraz, with Turkey Al-Sheikh. It's never been done before, so it's cool. That's all it is. And it's on the anniversary of America. If it's a card on the anniversary of America, why not the White House? There's a big-ass lawn. Maybe it shouldn't be that many people there, but I just don't understand why people are such Debbie Downers nowadays. I just think it's very funny. I just think whenever it's Trump, it's got to be hated on by at least half of the population. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. I don't agree with everything Trump does. We don't have to get political, but it's just a fun idea. I understand what the big deal about it is. Now, let's talk about the fighters that's saying they would come back for this. One, the guy that seems to be coming back to fighting every other, 4 months, Conor McGregor. He said on Twitter, July 4th next year is a Saturday regarding the President Trump's UFC White House event. I will be the reigning president of Ireland under 1 year when I step out on the lawns of the White House to throw down. Epic proportions, or as I call it, Tuesday at the office. Vote McGregor. So just a nice promotion by Conor McGregor, but I don't know about both of those things. I don't know if he's going to be president of Ireland, and I also don't know if he's going to be fighting, because as we know, he's been trying to fight Michael Chandler, what it feels like 2 years at this point, and him staying out of trouble is like the most impossible thing in the world. So I don't know about that. Some other retired fighter that doesn't matter said he would come back for it, but nobody really cares about that. And yeah, I just think that a lot of fighters are going to want to be on this card, especially the prideful American ones. And Conor, since he loves Donald Trump so much, seems to mirror a lot of his beliefs. And yeah, I could just imagine Colby Covington wanting to be on this card. Trust me, we'll get to that. All right, now let's look at a concept for a card. So I found this concept of a card. By the way, I'm doing the MMA Guru format for this part of the video. I would have put together my own ideas for the fights, but if I'm being honest with you guys, I'm sick as hell today if you guys didn't see my post on the timeline. And honestly, I wasn't going to post, but I haven't been as consistent, and it was just eating at me all day. I needed to, so let's look at this card. So Aspinall versus the Forbidden John Jones. I don't want to talk about him anymore, but this dumbass puts his name in the hat again because, oh, if I at the White House, count me in. I surely doubt it, because it's going to be against Aspinall and you don't want to fight him. So I don't even want to talk about that first fight because we talked about it 10 times. So it would make sense because it's American card. I would just say have Aspinall on the card versus somebody, but since it's the White House card, it should be against American. And I guess the bitch-ass duck fits because of the hype, I guess, if you want to call it that. McGregor versus Chandler. This fight has been done for a while, but I haven't talked about it too much on my channel. Excuse me, the Guru format's going to come with unedited burps. I apologize, but I actually think this would be a very sick matchup if it does happen. The only thing that really worries me is Conor McGregor's inactivity. And Michael Chandler, I'm pretty sure, trains all the time, even though he doesn't fight all the time. He's been waiting for Conor for like 2 years, like I said, which is crazy. He's only won one time in the UFC, by the way. I just find it hilarious that he always gets these big fights and these opportunities. He's like the Dana White privilege in the UFC. So I would really like to see that fight. I think it's realistic with this timeline at this point because Chandler could probably get one more fight, and McGregor, McGregor is probably going to need 10 years to get ready to fight without him getting in trouble. So, and you would think the President of Ireland thing would get in the way too, but I would like that fight too. This fight I would love, even though I don't know if Adesanya is going to fight anymore. Sean Strickland versus Adesanya too. I think it's great. I think the build-up will be great. We need Sean Strickland on his card in the White House. We obviously know in the first fight, Sean Strickland dominated Israel Adesanya. And it was just one of the craziest underdog upsets that we ever seen. And a lot of people think this fight will go very differently the second time. I really don't know. It could happen the exact same way because Izzy is a counter-striker. And Strickland is very defensively sound. And I just don't see Izzy changing it up any different than he usually does. He usually just fights how Izzy fights. So that would be a very interesting fight to run back. I will say that. Roundtree versus Olberg is a sick fight. This is probably a title eliminator type fight, so we'll see what happens to them within a year. We got to remember this is going to be a year in time. O'Malley versus Sandhagen, I don't know if that's realistic. Probably, and it would also be higher on the card. It'll probably be the feature fight, but obviously we have to see if Sandhagen beats Merab. I don't think he does, so maybe it's realistic that way, but I think instead of that fight, you should put Colby versus Kevin Holland. That's in the prelims of this, but I can't really fit it into the editing format. I think that Colby versus Kevin Holland could be the perfect end of that card. It's stacked enough where you can have that on a main card justifiably. That is a main card fight. And they need to have the press conference. It would be a real waste if Kevin Holland and Colby Covington weren't at the press conference. But I think the people that definitely should be on this card is Strickland and Colby. I'm trying to think of like American like wrestlers. Bo Nickel, if he didn't suck, should be on this card. Like Olympians. Like you would think that Olympians would be on this card, but I guess John Jones, so that's why he fits, I guess. A truck should not be driving that fast. Jesus Christ. But overall, I like the premise of this. I would just probably replace O'Malley versus Sandhagen because I just don't think it would line up in that time. I think Colby versus Kevin could happen because I think Kevin's fighting. I don't remember who. And then Colby probably going to be inactive for a year anyways. That's what he loves to do. So, yeah, any other fights I would like to have on this? You could say Cejudo retirement fight on here would be cool, but that'll probably be on the prelims. There's also one thing I'm going to mention. Donald Trump kept on saying UFC fight. So, I don't know how it would work. Would they somehow only have one fight on the White House lawn? I don't think that's even possible. But he's saying it like fight, but I just think Trump, that's just how he talks. So, fights that definitely should be on this card. John Jones, Aspinall, maybe. McGregor, Chandler, it would be great. It would fit amazingly well. Strickland versus Adesanya, I would love that. Roundtree versus Olberg might happen before that. If not, that's sick. And then obviously I would do Colby versus Kevin Holland. That would be a fun card. It would, and a lot of things are going to change in a year. Oh, God knows what could happen to John Jones and Conor McGregor in a year. Jesus, John Jones might be behind bars and Conor McGregor might be behind bars. So, you really don't know. So, yeah, I really don't see the problem in this White House card. To be honest with you, it's obviously going to be a stacked card. Dana's going to glaze Donald Trump like he always does, which I understand why people hate it, all this. If you don't like Trump, you're not going to like him getting his own entrance at UFC. I understand all that. But the man enjoys some UFC, so and so does a lot of America. So like, if it's a spectacle for a celebration of our country, why wouldn't you want the president to go over and above to like entertain the people, make it a celebration for 250? Because I'm trying to, like, it's hard to say because there hasn't been a 250th anniversary, but like, what would have Joe Biden or Kamala Harris would have done on 250th anniversary of America? They probably would have just done a parade and called it a day. I like that he's trying to do something for America. Like, I think that it's a cool idea. Maybe, like, it doesn't need to be UFC. Like, maybe, like, they said there's going to be other events and stuff. As long as it's safe, I don't see the problem with it. And I think there could be some very sick fights on the card if we could get Jon Jones back, if we could get Conor McGregor back. That would be cool. Seeing Jon Jones get knocked out by Tom Aspinall, sign me up. In front of the White House, that is like justice served to a T. The justice system did nothing to punish Jon Jones, so let Tom Aspinall do it in front of all of America, in front of the White House. Yeah, and Conor McGregor, he would actually he loves America and all this, but he would probably be the bad guy eventually because you would think they would back Michael Chandler, even though he's a bit of a cringe dude. But some Americans are cringe dudes, so they'll probably end up backing him. But I think it'll end up being a stacked card, and it will be a week after International Fight Week, so we get International Fight Week, then a huge card. So that could end up being pretty sick overall. People are underestimating how sick this could be just because the idea sounds so crazy, but the card will be insane. The vibe, the atmosphere will be crazy. The entire scenery of it will probably be the dopest sporting event scenery-wise of all time besides the Spear. So I'm behind it 100%. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree in the comments down below. I told you guys that I wasn't going to upload today, but I ended up doing it anyways. I hope you guys appreciate it. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications if you haven't already. And I'm going to go rest because this kind of took a while out of me. I'm not going to lie. If you guys want to follow any of my socials, they'll be in the description down below. But thank you guys for listening to me yap like usual. God bless every single one of you. And peace out.
Yeah, they call me fucking pain. You steady fucking switch and stay up in your fucking lane. And shorty super soaker, I can hit your ass from range. Shorty throwing ass and you knowin' where it going. Steady sipping codeine, yeah, you knowin' that my potion. That ass is like Cobra cause you throwing it in motion. Oh, we fucking lurking, oh, we creeping around the roaming. When you fucking see me, yeah, I'm out there fucking foaming. Pull up to the club and we getting really